What's up, y'all? Listen, I wanted to drop this video real quick because it's been a few days since I've been able to chop it up with y'all. But first, I want to say thank you for all of the channel growth, man. It's been amazing to have so many different people pouring in and sharing their story with me. So I absolutely appreciate each and every last one of y'all. I actually had a friend from high school hit me on the channel, and I actually have never shared this channel on any of my personal platforms or anything like that. And the reason that I wanted to do it like that was because I didn't want it to be kind of like a fatty type of thing where I had all of these different people that really was just trying to follow the channel and didn't really care or wasn't concerned about learning anything about narcissism at all. They was just trying to, be nosy. Y'all know how people are sometimes. So I wanted to get a channel a chance to grow organically. So like I said, I have not promoted this channel at all. So all of the channel growth that you guys have seen from August when I started the channel up until now has been all organic growth. Y'all have came out and just supported the channel. So I absolutely appreciate each and every last one of y'all just for, like I said, just showing love and continuing to rock with the channel. And if you are new here and this is your first video, I invite you guys to come on and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so y'all can get all of the upcoming videos, man. It's a lot of people that's going through a lot of the things that I talk about on this channel. So I just want to share my experience, and I hope it helps you guys get to your healing journey a little bit faster and just create some shortcuts to circumvent some of the tricks that the narcissist uses that I actually ran into. And I actually ran into them partially because I couldn't get out of the situation. A lot of it is because I am co-parenting with the narcissist. So I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. So one of the main reasons why I started this channel was because I was extremely concerned about my son knowing the truth about everything that happened in case something happened to me. And my son is so young that you never know how life is going to go. So I wanted it documented. I wanted everything documented as to where I could say, or where the story was laid out. So like I said, if anything were to happen to me, then there was places that my son could go, and YouTube was a great platform for me to do that. Because it's live and documented, and they can't, the narcissist family can't take it down or anything like that. So, they can they can try to play their games and everything with, the channel as far as reporting it and all of that kind of stuff. But I think YouTube has a pretty good guidelines as far as, just dropping somebody's channel or something like that just because it's been reported on certain things. I think they kind of have a review policy where they'll look into things. But it's one of the things that I noticed is that while I was dealing with the narcissist, she had all of her flying monkeys, and one of the main flying monkeys that she utilized was her oldest child. Now, at the time, he was about 11 years old. And how this kind of ties into what this video is about is because I wanted my son to know the truth, and I knew that she would try, and not only she would try, but I saw how her family was trying to manipulate me and my family. So I was just only imagining like what she was doing to the children. So one of the main things that I was afraid of is her, as my son got older, trying to turn my son against me. And I hear so many stories about, other survivors that's going through parental alienation and all of that kind of stuff. And that's one of the things that I see that she's going to try to utilize as time goes on. It's something that has already been utilized, and the only reason that it kind of stopped is because I started responding to everything logically. I took all of the emotion out of it, and I kind of made it sound as if, basically it's like I respond as if we're going to court. You know what I'm saying? I respond to everything with logic, and anything that I respond to, I make sure that if I say it in a certain type of way, I'm gonna say it to where if it does end up in court, or then it's not gonna be an emotional response at all. It's gonna be straight logic, and it's gonna be to the point of whatever it is that we're trying to get to the bottom of. So kudos to all of y'all that can go no contact, man. If y'all are watching this video and you have the ability to go no contact, take it from somebody that has a child with them. Go no contact. If you can get away and you can get out of the situation scot-free, and I know you guys are hurting and you're in some pain and you probably want this person back because you trauma bonded and all of that kind of stuff, but take it from somebody that has a child with, in this, I have a child with the narcissist, and because of that, the last 2 years of my life has been completely and utterly hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had to climb out of so many different holes that I didn't even realize that I was in. Like when you're dealing with the narcissist, it's like they literally wrapping you. It's like they're weaving you into their web, basically. You know what I'm saying? And you are being surrounded by like pitfalls that you didn't even know you was being surrounded by, and you don't even notice it until after the discard and all of that kind of stuff happens. So it's stuff that I was still finding out a year in, you know what I'm saying? Like a year into the discard, I'm still finding out new stuff, and there's new things that's popping up over here and popping up over there, and it's stuff that was like a hindrance to me progressing in life. You know what I'm saying? It was that type of stuff. So it was, it was one of them type of things where I had to make this channel because I was really under the impression that her and her family was going to try to manipulate the entire situation, turn my son completely against me. My son would never know the truth. And I just didn't want that for him. And like I said, if something were to happen to me, going down the line, and he's still a young baby right now, and he doesn't really know, his father that well. Like, we have a great relationship and everything now, but he's still only 2 years old. I'm thinking about my own childhood, and I can only remember back until I was maybe 4 or 5. So, and I'm trying to build those experiences with my son so that he does have, those memories at an earlier age, hopefully, you know what I'm saying? But I don't even know, I think it's something where, kids just don't remember certain things past a certain age. It's certain memories that I have that's hit or miss, like in between from like younger than maybe 5. But 5 and up, I can pretty much remember, I remember a lot of life experiences and things that happened from 5 and up. But but under 5 and under, I don't remember a lot of that stuff. So, like I said, just with that being the case, I wanted my son to always have documentation of the story of what actually happened with me and his mother. And like I said, I knew that a lot of lies and stuff like that were going to be told about me. So because of that, like I said, I was always worried about that. And I know some of you guys are probably in that situation where, especially if you're in a situation like mine where your child is with the mother, like, most of the time you get the child on the weekends, or you get the child in like a split parenting situation where you like splitting time with them. I know some of you guys are probably worried that, they're going to brainwash the children and they, all of that kind of stuff. But one of the things that I can say that I've noticed in this personal situation, number one, is be active in your child's life. My son, like, I never let my son feel nothing that I was going through. You know what I'm saying? I never let him see that I was in pain, even when the discard and everything first happened. And he's still a baby. But I make sure that I do fun stuff with him all the time. I'm always, taking him to, uh, learn different experiences. I want him to have a lot. I want him to be extremely well-rounded. So I take him to do different things that, you know, I take him to do athletic things. I take him to, amusement parks and all of that kind of stuff, even at a young age, because I just want, I feel like a child's mind is like a sponge, so they can soak all of this information up. And I feel like these are the times that we can do this because he's not in school yet and all of that kind of stuff. So just building, my bond with him, and at the same time, building his life experience up, at a very young age as well. So he, as a young boy, he's already seen a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Which is all positive stuff. Like, it wasn't like a lot of negative stuff. Like, I saw a lot of negative stuff when I was a child. So, and one of the things that I just had to respect about the situation is when he's with me, he's with me. And when he's with her, I don't know what's going on. They don't like to co-parent. They like to keep you in the dark about stuff. And then she laughs so much that it's like, I wouldn't trust nothing that she said anyway. You see what I'm saying? At this point, it's like she's lied to me so much that even if she told me something about what was going on with the child, I would question it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even ask questions about what's going on or any of that kind of stuff. And that was one of the hardest things that I had to get over, because of course everybody wants to know what's going on with their child pretty much at all times. But when you are dealing with a narcissist, you have to learn to parallel parent. That's something that was one of the hardest things for me to grasp the concept over the last 2 years, is like, I want to be involved. I want to be involved. But then I had to realize my involvement was when he's with me. And that's how the situation has to be until, there's some other form of recourse taken. But as of right now, I have to dedicate my time and have to give him those experiences in the time that I have him. It's kind of a gift and a curse because I don't have him every day, but when I do have him, I have him 100% to myself. You know what I'm saying? So there's not really any distraction. So that's a, I feel like that is a positive as far as him and I bonding. But like I said, so I was always worried about that kind of thing. But in my situation, I kind of get a glimpse of what's happening, you know what I'm saying? Because the narcissist that I was dealing with, she has another child, and her other child was, like I said, he was about 11 at the time of the discard. And so now it's been about 2 years. So he's like 13, pushing 14, somewhere in there. And at the time of the discard, he was like gung-ho, completely flying monkey. You know what I'm saying? She had groomed him into being the perfect flying monkey for him. She had him lying for her and all of that kind of stuff. And I think that he was so young at the time that he was just blindly support her, blindly lie for her, blindly follow up her stories and things like that. And with him being 11 years old, he's just like, listen, I got to listen to my mother. My mother told me that, my mother told me that I needed to do this, or my mom said I need to do that. So I just need to follow her, because if I don't, she's going to probably rage out on me or something like that. So he was probably in, like self-defense mode. He's probably trying to protect himself, and he was just, following her blindly. But one of the things that I do notice now is that as time has gone on, and she's told so many lies about me, but my character has never shown any of that. Like, so all of the lies that she tried to, make it sound, all of the lies that narcissists tell, oh, he's abusive, oh, he's, this person is this, oh, they did this to me, they did that to me. And I think the son is starting to like put two and two together, because he's like, you said this, and you said he this, and you said this about him, and you said that about him, but every time I come around, he dapped me up. He cool. Like, I'm talking about even after the discard, like, even now when he comes around, because they're like dropping, you know, we're exchanging my son. During the child exchange, I treat him, you know, I've never treated him, because I felt like, even though I felt like he told a lot of lies in the situation and he was supporting her, I felt like he was a child and that wasn't his place to be involved in any of that kind of stuff. And then number two, I'm like, not only has she most likely been lying to this child about me, but what about his original, like what about his father? You know what I'm saying? Like, so now I'm like thinking that she has most likely been telling her son, her first son, lies about his father all of this time as well. So you never know how deep, like I never knew much about their situation other than what she told me, and that's a whole nother story, y'all. You know what I'm saying? She played that situation to a T as well, because for years she had me believing that her and her first child's father were great friends, like for years. Like, I can't even tell you how long I believed that these two are great friends, and none of this came, like, the truth didn't come out in that situation until way after I was like discarded, and our situation was pretty much blown up. My son is here, and now I'm in like survival mode. I'm trying to figure out what the hell just happened. So yeah. So basically, one of the things, like I said, that I noticed is that the oldest son, her first son, he is like, he's starting to unravel the story. He, you know, like I say, he's looking at me, and he's like, this dude always been super cool with me. He always, you know, because, you know, I'm a very lovable type of dude, especially because I came from a lot of childhood trauma when it come down to, so when I see a little boy that's in pain, you know what I'm saying, like I can recognize it because I've been there, you know what I'm saying. So I see that he got a lot of pain in his eyes, he got a lot of pain in his face and stuff like that. So when he comes around, I try to, you know, show him some compassion and show him, you know, that's the empathetic side of us, is that we want to, you know, even when people wrong us, we want to make them feel comfortable, and we want them to feel, you know, basically I wanted him to know that he's not alone in this kind of thing. And I can see his pain. He's wearing it, you know what I'm saying, on his sleeve, but he's not allowed to say anything against his family, of course, you know what I'm saying. So I'm sure a lot of what's been happening, he probably wants to speak up to me about certain things, but he's not in a position to be able to, because he knows that he's going to get backlash, not only from his mother, but then his mother's mother. You know what I'm saying? The whole family is pretty much toxic. So it's like he can't go against them to support me, even if he sees that something is completely wrong. But what I noticed in his behavior is, before, when the discard first happened, he was like real standoffish to me, and he was kind of like, you could tell she put him up to treating me a certain type of way. And he was blindly like, okay, listen, I want to keep the peace between me and my mother, so I gotta be a little asshole to you, basically. You know what I'm saying? So that's how he was kind of treating me. But then as time went on, and I continued to be myself, and I continued to dap him up. I continued to be like, man, look, you know, anytime you're ready to talk, man, you know, I'm here for you, you know, that kind of thing. Because I don't know how close his father is in his life, but one thing that I do notice is I can see the jealousy in him because of the relationship that I have with my son. So, you know, you got to think about, if his mother ran his father off early in the relationship, and his father doesn't come around that often, but then this little boy is seeing my son come over and be with his father every single weekend, or seeing, you know, all of the different things like I was saying that we do, you know, that can kind of be hurtful to a child, especially when they don't know what the problem is. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They're not privy to all the stuff that the adults are going through. They're only privy to what the toxic mother is telling them and showing them. So now it's like he's becoming a man now, and he's starting to like read between the lines on a lot of stuff. And I can see, like I said, in his demeanor, he hasn't actually said anything, but I can see in his demeanor that things are completely wrong, like over there in that situation. He comes to the door, even when he drops my son off. He used to be, you know, upbeat and all of that kind of stuff, but now he comes to the door and he's like, hey, my mom said da 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 da, put the bottle in the refrigerator, please. You know what I'm saying? And it's like almost like a zombie. You know what I'm saying? This little boy is almost like zombified to the point where, you know, I know that this little boy gonna need some therapy, a lot of it, growing up, because of the things that he's seen and the things that he's experienced and witnessed that his mother has done, and the lies that she's included him in. But he's starting to, like I said, he's starting to see through the stuff that I was worried about my son not being able to see through. And that's what, you know, I kind of wanted to do this video because, like I said, I know it's a few of you guys that's probably in that same situation, to where you're thinking that the kids aren't going to be able to recognize the toxicity. And at the beginning, they might not be able to, especially because they're being love bombed now. You got to also think about this. I believe that the first child was the golden child because he was the only child. And then when my son came about, he became the scapegoat of the family. And then my son, being the baby and being the one that's cute and bringing all of the attention to the mother and the grandmother, you know, with everybody like, oh, he's so handsome, he's so cute, he's this, he's the, you know, how, you know, babies bring a lot of attention. So the fact that the baby is the one bringing all of the attention now, I think that the scapegoat role has gone to the oldest son. And he's still, like I said, he's still a child. He's still only 13, so he still doesn't really understand everything that's going on. I believe that behind closed doors, he's living in a survival mode, and he doesn't really know what else to do except to go along to get along. And that's kind of what I see in him. Every time he comes around me, it seems like he wants to open up to me and say something. And I try to give him the room to do that because, like I said, I know he's a child, and I don't know, I do feel like he needs to go and have a conversation with his father. That's one of the main things for me, because I don't want to be the person to step on his father's toes, and I don't know what transpired, you know, to the point where I don't know where his father and his relationship is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened with that, you know, what the dynamics of that is right now, because everything that was told to me previously was all a lie. So because she lied so much, I don't know what's real and what's not when it comes down to his father and his relationship with his father and all of that kind of stuff. But me being a man and me understanding that this little boy don't deserve none of that, and me, you know, being compassionate and see that, you know, I can see the envy growing in him, because it's like my little brother goes to his father's house all the time. My little brother comes home with, you know, new clothes on and that kind of stuff. And my little brother goes and plays, you know, he's at the amusement parks with his father and this, that, and the third. It's like he can just, I can just see that it's breaking his heart that he don't have that type of bond with his father. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't know what the situation is, because I don't know if she has ran the father completely out of the situation. I do know some of the circumstances that took place. I can't say that I don't know everything. I do know some very serious circumstances that took place, but I don't know what the relationship is now. You know what I'm saying? Like how it ended, what it looks like now for them. You know what I'm saying? But I do notice that this little boy is completely unhappy, and he's seeing that his mother is absolutely toxic, and he's also seeing that the things that I thought that, like I said, he's seeing that I've always been the same person every time he's come around. I didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to sell him on, I didn't do any of that stuff to your mother. All I did was remain quiet, and I just let the truth come. I let the truth be what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're walking around in a certain light, and you are who you are. Like, can't nobody take that from you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what kind of lies somebody tell about you, or what kind of smear campaign somebody tries to run on you. And like, I can tell y'all from experience, I've been through at least 3 smear campaigns, at least 3 that I could think of, that now when I'm looking back on my life, I can look back and say, I think I was dealing, I didn't realize I was dealing with toxic people at that time. But now when I look back after learning about narcissism, it's like all of the red flags out there showing me, okay, this person may have been, I ain't gonna, everybody's not a narcissist, but they definitely displayed some toxic traits. So this person may have shown me some toxicity. This person may have shown me that they were toxic, and this person, you know what I'm saying? So I had several situations where, looking back on it, I didn't know it was toxic at the time, but looking back on it, I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I've had a string of relationships with, these type of people, and it's a lot of that was dealing with childhood trauma that was never healed, you know what I'm saying? So I get that now, and I get that this is why you attract people like that, you know what I'm saying? So that's why we have to do our own healing. You got to go and do that shadow work, like everybody talk about, that the work behind the scenes, work on your inner child, work on healing who you are. And I did a post the other day where I said, basically, you have to go back. You have to go back to what broke you. You don't have to stay there. You have to go back and visit it, though. You got to go back and see what it is that, what the hang-ups are in your life. You know what I'm saying? The things that are holding you in that cycle. Life is cyclical, and the things that are holding you in that cycle are the things that traumatized you and that you have not healed from. And because of that, you are continuously seeking a pattern and seeking partners, seeking friendships, seeking, relationships where these people remind you of what you came from, and that's what you're comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to drop this video right here because I know I'm not the only person that has felt like the narcissist was going to turn the kids against him and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm sure there are people on the channel that have gone through parental alienation, and I absolutely feel for you guys. I hope things get better for you in your situations when it comes down to it. I definitely recommend therapy. I know some of you guys' kids are older. This video is probably more for the kids that are younger and that you still have an opportunity before the narcissist completely sabotages your name or any of that kind of stuff. But I do want to say that, like I said, there is hope, because I'm seeing that the oldest little boy, like I said, he's about 13 now, he is seeing that his mother has told a lot of lies. Like I'm sure he doesn't know what a narcissist is, or he doesn't have the education on that kind of thing. He just knows that's his mother. But what he sees is his mother hasn't been very honest about a lot of stuff. And so I think because of that, he's starting to realize, the world around him that he thought was this particular way is not what he what he originally thought it was. And it's kind of crazy because, like I said, I think his wheels are starting to spin on his own father now. You know what I'm saying? He's starting to look at me and, like I said, how I treat my son, and he's starting to, his wheels are starting to spin. And I think he's starting to realize that he's been manipulated into not being around his father probably nearly as much as he probably could have been, you know, in his life. And I think that, like I said, now it's becoming a point of envy between the brothers, because narcissistic people like to play siblings against each other and all of that kind of stuff. And that's one of the things that I noticed, is that it seems like they're trying to structure it in a way where they're going to be bickering back and forth, and it's going to be envy between the two brothers. You know what I'm saying? And if I can do anything on my end to have that not happen, that's what I'm going to do. You know, and like I said, I'm going to show both kids, you know, love and appreciation. I'm not, you know, my son is my son, and that man's son is his son. I'm not going to step on that man's toes, but at the same time, that's my son's big brother. And I'm going to accept the fact that, you know what I'm saying, that all of this came out of a toxic situation that he didn't ask for, I didn't ask for, and I'm going to treat him accordingly. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep my distance from all of them, you know, other than my son, just for the sake of keeping a peace between myself, the narcissist family, my family, that kind of thing. So I try to, you know, keep my distance, but at the same time, it's not that little boy's fault, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard for me to treat him like it is his fault, you know what I'm saying? So, so I just wanted to drop that video real quick. I hope this video helps y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? I hope if you guys have felt that way, because I know I felt that way for a very long time. If you felt that way, I hope this video helps you understand that the narcissist tells on themselves, even to the kids. The kids are going to start being able to pick up on things and notice that something not right. You know what I'm saying? Something not right in this whole situation. And once the kids start noticing that, you know, kids not stupid, man. They're extremely smart. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they'll be able to see. They may, you know, they may come. Like I said, I'm going to leave the lines of communication open if he wants to come later on in life and talk to me and get a better understanding of what's going on and why, you know, things ended up the way that they did. But at the same time, you know, I'm gonna respect his boundaries as well, man. So I just wanted to drop that. I hope you guys find some value in this video, and I will get back to y'all soon, man. Love y'all.